I like to provide you guys with like real, everyday value of basically just building the trenches of real estate. So today we actually got notification that a buyer was actually going to cancel on one of our flips. And they were going to cancel because the HOA was not communicating to get the necessary documents over to the lender and to the title company to close. And the reason why the HOA is not getting the information over is because the HOA management company had sold their company to a new company, and that old HOA management company has not transferred all of their files over to the new company. And the new company is totally MIA. I'm sure they're drinking water from a fire hose and trying to bring over all these files of HOA management that they haven't had, and they're trying to get on top of things. They're not answering their phone calls, and they're not answering their emails. And so I finally got a hold of someone today on the phone, but it ended up being a virtual assistant in a country far away. They had no clue. I knew more about what was going on. They were just there to get a voice on the phone. So we actually just did a Google search and said, asked, where is this? If they're managing houses in Arizona, they for sure, I would assume, have an office here in Arizona, right? So we got a physical address. And we went to the first address, happened to be in Chandler, Arizona. And we went there and it was just a virtual office. And this company actually has 3 addresses. And so then the second address was actually in Queen Creek. And then the third address in Phoenix. And so when we went to Chandler, no one was there, virtual office, no one even really knew this company existed. I'm sure by licensing of, I don't know the ins and outs of owning a HOA management company, but I'd imagine that they've got to have addresses here in Arizona. So we actually ended up driving to the Phoenix office, in which it was their office, sat down and had a face-to-face conversation with them, how horrible they are at communicating, answering emails and phone calls, and that they're basically getting ready to kill a deal because they're not answering. So we actually just went straight there and had the conversation person to person. So the reason why I'm sharing this to you is sometimes, if you're not getting what you need, there's other ways to take action. Like we have been sitting back for 2 weeks just thinking HOA is communicating with bank and HOA is communicating with title company to close this, and it's just not closing. So we took action, got in the car, went to the HOA company and said, yo, what is up? We have to close this transaction. You guys are killing it. We've got to make it happen. So I'm just share that with you guys to take action. Like go out there. If you're not figuring it out, you're hitting a dead wall, a dead end, brainstorm on what other ways can you have success. Don't give up, don't quit. One of the really cool things about the founder of Jimmy John's shares is he never quit. He never let failure define him. He just kept going. He hit a lot of roadblocks and eventually figured out how to open how many thousands of Jimmy John's throughout the US. So go out there, make success happen, and you guys are awesome, and keep up the good work. Thank you.